When you see a commercial, 9 times out of 10, it's a celebrity. Pledge. Pledge isn't paying me. Pledge. And then you sell it. Yo, I just want to react to my guy right here. He does the NBA Power Rankings. I believe his name is Big Ten Boy. Y'all subscribe to him. He shows me love, so y'all go show him love, support. He does the WNBA Power Rankings every single week. And yeah, these were his that he released at the beginning of this week, which was about 3-4 days by the time I'm recording this video. But yeah, let's get into it. I don't know if I think I'm just gonna be safe. Okay, so wow, yes, the Minnesota Lynx number 12. Okay, so obviously that's gonna change. I think it'll probably be the Fever last now, and then Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota swept the Dream 2 games. The Wings, man, the Wings. That's my team, guys. That's my team. That I told y'all about it. If you watched the last video at the end a little bit there with Marbury, the Chicago Sky right there. Okay, the Sky. Okay, Sky doing their thing and stuff like that. Let me see who's next. Okay, the Mystics in the just below the middle of the pack. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Mystics, Washington's gonna be all right. Los Angeles moving up to 7. I guess last week, when you think about what happened last week when they pulled out that late victory at Chicago, I guess that kind of makes sense. The Dream number 6, they are definitely dropping. The Dream are definitely dropping, man. Kennedy needs to get Aces number 5. Oh, so they slipped from 4 to 5. That's surprising. That is surprising. Let me see who's number 4. The Phoenix Mercury? Okay, that makes sense. The Mercury, yeah, that's about where they need to be, that top 5, top 4 position. Let me see who's number 3. New York Liberty. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. Seattle number 2, and then Connecticut's number 1. Connecticut. I can kind of agree with that. Connecticut's probably playing the best basketball right now, so I could go with that. But man, New York number 3, my boy. And then who do I think will take number 1? It'll probably be Connecticut. Have a great weekend. Make sure you come back, support next week. I got you, my guy. Everybody, make sure you support Big Ten Boy. He's coming out with the new Power Rankings in a couple of days. Anyway, so yeah, this Drake thing. Let me pull it up, man. This Drake thing. Drake? But yeah, so Drake, if you guys didn't see, he wore the WNBA hoodie, and yeah, it was a thing. So he wore the WNBA hoodie. He's in the studio, and he posted it on his IG story. And so this is what one WNBA reporter, or just one writer. I don't want to throw anything on her, and I don't want to attempt to. Well, I'll attempt. This is them, Brittany De La Creta, because she said the Z is silent. Because they said the Z is silent. Them, yeah, they said the Z is silent. I do not care about Drake wearing a WNBA hoodie, or an NBA player wearing one, or which male athlete showed up to a W game. The legitimacy of the league does not depend on men tossing crumbs of validation at it. I'm not saying I don't want these men to wear WNBA gear. I'm saying women's sports social media accounts don't need to tweet about it every time it happens. It doesn't need to be news on women's sports accounts. This is why I disagree with this take. Are you ready for the juiciness? Okay, so there's a lot of fake support out there for the W. Here come the hot takes. There's a lot of fake support out there for the W. I talk about this with my friends a lot behind the scenes. Specifically Chris a lot. Chris is a guy who I brought on the channel, of course, a couple months ago during the NCAA Women's Tournament to talk about Paige Bueckers and UConn headed into the tournament, stuff like that. Oh, headed into the Iowa game, I believe it was. Yep, headed into the Iowa game, so you guys can go back and see if you want to see who Chris Williamson is. This is the guy I usually talk to about these things behind the scenes. A lot of fake support, a lot of things of like, support the W, support women's basketball, and like, a lot of people who like, it's like the idea of it. We actually talked about this with Joel and Ash. I actually talked about this with Joel and Ash. So if you're like a return to the channel, you've heard me say this before. But there's a lot of people who just don't actually support or watch the games and stuff like that. And a lot of times those people will be women in the sports world. Like, I hate to say it, but a lot of times that fake support will be from the women. A guy like Drake, something that I just discovered last night. This is a fun fact. Did you know that on one of his most famous songs ever, Sicko Mode? I know that's not the song, it's Travis Scott's song. But on Sicko Mode, he shouts out Liz Cambage. I had no idea that was Liz. With the Devin Booker. Every time I react to the Suns, I say that wet like I'm Book. I had no idea that the next line, wet like I'm Lizzie, was in reference to Liz Cambage. So Drake has been supporting women's basketball in the W for a long time now. Dating back to obviously the days of Wayne and Sky over there when she was in Notre Dame and stuff like that. But I mean, like, Drake, he literally like posts on his Instagram story like a random college women's basketball game, something like a Louisville. He showed up to the game in California a couple years ago, if you guys remember that. Like, and because I think his cousin or niece was on the team. It was like the Long Beach College women's basketball team. He just showed up in the locker room afterwards and stuff like that. Like, Drake has been supporting the women's game for a long time. Last year in the Wubble, he sent some OVO merch to Taya Cooper with the Sparks and stuff like that. And, he's just, like I said, he's just been supporting, like, he's an actual fan of the game. Like, and I think when I get what Britney's trying to say here, I believe if that is their name, if Britney is their name. But yeah, I get what they're trying to say here. But at the same token, it's like when it's someone like a Drake, because literally on Britney's page, a couple tweets later is a retweet of a New York Liberty writer dude who just pointed out the fact that Benijah Laney was all smiles and said her life would have been made if Beyonce was on the front row. So celebrity validation and celebrity help and celebrity endorsement and all that, that's wanted. That's wanted from the players. The players themselves want it. The writers want it themselves. The media wants it. The fans want it. They want the celebrity, the saying like the endorsement, the stamp of approval. Well, not the stamp of approval, but they like it. Like, and it's not just men. I think that it's this thing that is like, oh, it's just for the men, and that's just not the truth, because Sweetie had Asia Wilson in the music video, right, a couple of months ago or a month ago, and that was all over the W. I was all over the Aces page. In any sport, in any league, if there's a celebrity sitting courtside at a game, that's a part of social media. Like, it's just going to be there. Like, if Drake wore a Hawks hoodie, the Hawks are going to take a picture of Drake in the Hawks hoodie and put it on the Hawks page, because Drake is very famous. He's on the level of Beyonce in terms of fame. So it's like, yes, someone of Drake's stature, when everybody's waiting for this album and they're watching his Instagram stories for little droppets of when Loverboy, Certified Lover Boy, Drake in his room, whatever that album's called, Certified Lover Boy, I know that album. But yeah, whenever Certified Lover Boy, they're checking it and he's wearing the W in the studio and it is bright and orange and everything like that. I get it. I would agree with this take if it's someone who doesn't genuinely support the W or women's basketball and it's just doing it because it's a good thing to do, good charity work. The W, support women's basketball. We got to do this, support women's basketball. But this is someone who actually supports women's basketball. He shouted out Liz Cambage in one of his most famous verses ever. Wet like I'm Book. Wet like I'm Lizzie. I had no idea that was Liz Cambage. I'm repeating that again, but when you have someone of the stature of Drake doing that, I mean, it's like, who am I to be like, I think a lot of times, and I get it, because if you're fighting for something, yes, you're fighting for something. And so, like, tensions are a little higher because you're fighting for something, there's something like there, right? I get it. But at the same time, Let's not overthink this. Let's not push people away from helping you out. Let's not push people away who want to support. Let's not push away free publicity. Let's not push away endorsements. Let's not, oh, you a man of the room. Excuse me. Doesn't need to be this pitchfork like atmosphere. And like there's this thing, man, of, and this is a problem, like this goes beyond the W, just like the problems with where people will say cancel culture, like people will call it cancel culture, but just like of social media with like kind of wokeness, like sometimes there's wokeness and then you like learn something that you, or a perspective you didn't think of before, and then you're like, that's a good perspective, and you jump on it, and then the second you do that, someone will be like, the woker than thou crowd will go, well really, this way of thinking isn't the answer, and it's not good enough, and this is why, and it'll never be, and then it's like, nothing's ever good enough. Like, it gets to the point where it's like, dang, what is good enough, bruh? I don't know. That's me on my soapbox about social media and kind of like the woker than thou movement and stuff like that. I think, man, if Drake want to post a picture of him in a WNBA hoodie, let him post it. That's the most famous, this is one of the most famous people in the world, is Drake. And it's not fake. It's not fake support. If someone is like, he has a history years past before support the W was a hashtag, before so-and-so was a hashtag. Like, this is someone who has supported the game before. Let them support it. Why are you literally pushing away everything good for the game? I went on a rant about Paige Beckers, right? Because people are pushing Paige away from the game. People are pushing Sabrina Ionescu away from the game because they're white. Hello? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Do you want to grow the game or not? Because it seems like every time there's something to grow the game, you're pushing it away. You can't have that mindset. I don't get it. I don't get it. I genuinely do not get it. It's like every time there seems something to help advance the game, you want to push it away. And I get it. I got the statistics. Okay, black women make up the league. Black women make up so-and-so % of the league, while the white players get more attention. Here's one thing I talked about it as well, behind the closed doors and stuff. Kind of the hype of Sue Bird. The fact that she's even in the GOAT conversation. Great player. All-time great. Correct. GOAT? If you're talking about 3-5 people who should be in the GOAT conversation, is the Sue Bird really being there? When was she ever the undisputed #1 option on her team, on a championship contending team? She had Lauren Jackson in the first half. She had Diana Taurasi in college. She had now she has Breanna Stewart. When was she ever the undisputed #1 on her team? All-time great. Great career. Thank you, Sue Bird, for all you have done for the game. What's the difference? Ooh, this is a real hot take now. What's the difference between Sue Bird and Simone Augustus? And this is not tearing down Sue Bird. This is talking about the attention Sue Bird gets. So I can understand when people will be like, I don't like the attention that these people get, and they're taken away from the people who built the game, and because it's like everything else in life. I get it. I understand. We're gatekeepers. We love our people, and we want our people to get the credit that we feel like we never get. I get it. I understand it. Trust me. Believe it. I might just be able to relate. I don't know. I might just be able to just a little bit. I don't know. I might just be making this up. Right? I might just be making this up. Anyway, but I'm saying, like, the thing is, okay, all right. So we want the credit. We want more. Great. Right. Asia Wilson needs to be pushed more. The Sweetie videos will start. The endorsement deals are start. We need to push Asia more. We need to push Cam Beige more. We need to push Tina Charles more. We should have pushed Maya Moore sooner. When Maya Moore was playing, all the respect that Maya Moore got after she was done playing, when she quit or whatever, took a year off and then took another year off and then took another year off. When she took those 3 years off, you know what I'm saying? And the way she was lifted up in those 3 years when she stepped away from the game, that's what we should have been doing while she was playing. Candace Parker, she's going to be praised or whatever when she finally hangs it up, and is well worth it. But she kind of needs to be pushed a little more now. Candace Parker needs to be pushed a little more now. I get it. At the same token, on the same thing, regardless of whatever you got to do to get your foot in the door, to get the attention. She's talking about the crumbs of validation. We don't need it to I get it. I understand it. But I just don't get this. Okay, so I guess it's like a knowing your worth thing, right? At a negotiation table. I won't settle for this because I know that I'm worth $1 billion. I know the league is worth $1 billion, so I'm not going to settle for $1 million. I get it. At the same time, this is Drake.
Drake?
This is Drizzy Drake Rogers. This is God's plan. God's plan.
Drake? Drake?
This man sneezes and get him #1 record.
Drake?
It is #1, and you hear it on the radio, and you're driving around, and you hear, the new song, Drake. That's what Drake can do, and get a #1 record.
Drake?
I don't know if you want to be pushing Drake away. Drake?
Aubrey Graham in a wheelchair. Drake?
Anyways, man. That rant was all over the place. What I'm trying to say is, at the basic level of, I get that we don't need to feed crumbs, we don't need male validation, but it's not just male validation. It's literally like celebrity endorsements, celebrity stamp of approval. It's something that's a marketing tactic, and it's been a marketing tool from the beginning of time. When you see a commercial, 9 times out of 10, it's a celebrity. Pledge. Pledge isn't paying me. Pledge. And then you sell it. That's the way that the market goes. That's the way that capitalism works. That's the way that this country works in America. That's the way it goes. So why, when you get a celebrity, when you get LeBron James, Chris Paul, and whoever the heck it was, sitting courtside at the Aces game a year ago, why is that a problem? When the W teams snap the pictures of it, interview them, put it all over the socials, and they tweet about the game. Cam Page killed, Asia Wilson killed, Las Vegas, they some dogs. Can I pick that dog? Why is that a problem? I just don't get it when people are, I would get it if it's, what you need to be mad at is a few of them other folks that y'all won't call out, that put on the WNBA hoodie and then say support women's basketball, support the W. Congrats Renee Montgomery on being the Atlanta Dream owner, boss woman moves, and then don't tweet a thing about a game until the finals. And then after the championship, Breonna Stewart is such a great player. That's your only tweet about an actual game all season? Those are the people you need to get. Not Drake, the joker who been talking about the W in women's basketball for years now. Shouted out one of y'all biggest stars and one of his biggest verses ever. Constantly putting y'all on the Instagram stories and the so and so. The man with one of the biggest platforms of a platform that can get. That ain't who you need to get mad at. You need to get mad at the folks who don't genuinely support the game. Bradley Beal genuinely supports the game. Russell Westbrook genuinely supports the game. Consistently, for years. You shouldn't have a problem with them and the WNBA Twitter posting them just because they showed up to the game in a jersey. Because they genuinely support the game and they're celebrities. That comes with social media. That comes with marketing. That comes with doing whatever the heck. They do it in the NBA. You think all them folks on the court side, the celebrities, they just... Come on now. Them tickets sell out like this. The franchises secure 2 or 3 tickets, 5 tickets, courtside, for whatever celebrity want to come affiliated with that city. And all the celebrity got to do for it, they don't pay for nothing. They just wave their head to the Jumbotron and they say, Future's in the house! Young Thug's in the house! That's all they got to do. Because it's a marketing ploy. It's the oldest trick in the book. It's a part of community. It's a part of you buy a product, you sell a product, you get a product, and you grow the product from selling the product and doing the thing. Everybody benefits. The celebrity benefits because they go to the game for free, and you know they get some new pictures for free. And the brand that they showed up for, they benefit because, hey, this is cool. Quavo's at the game. Hey, this is cool. Future's at the game. It just is what it is, bro. So that's all I got to say about it, man. This isn't something that's just I think it's when I see things like this, it kind of shows just kind of like signs of just flashes of insecurity a bit, right? It's like we don't need you to do this. We don't need it. Hold on a minute. Hold on now. Who's you attacking? Like if I like the product and I just happen to be famous and the people is just posting it, like I ain't do nothing wrong, man. It ain't no crumbs of validation. I agree with your thing, Miss Brittany, or not Miss. I'm sorry. I apologize. I agree with you. I agree with you them on the crumbs that's given and the people getting, attention and applause for giving crumbs. I agree with you on that. The thing I don't agree with is coming after this specific example of Drake, one of the most famous people. It don't matter what league, what person, if they wear something like that, the brand that they promoting or something is going to post it everywhere. Just is what it is. It's the way that life goes. It's the way that the market goes. It's the way that capitalism works. You get a product, you get someone to endorse it and say, hey, Drake likes it. Do you like it? And you sell it. Like, that's just how it works. It just is what it is. Anyways, man, if you are new to the channel, this is the road to 2K subs. Let me go back to this power rankings. I didn't get to talk about it enough. Let's talk about the actual game. Got me worked up. All right, Seattle Storm. So, like I said, man, Dallas, man, surprise team of the season, in my opinion. They are still under 500, I believe, at the time I'm recording this. Let me look it up right now to make sure. We have Google, and Google is free. They are 4-5, still under 500. But to play, they just beat Phoenix. So you got Phoenix in the top 5. They just beat Phoenix, and they took Seattle to the brink 2 times and split that series. 2 game winners. 1 game winner, Jewel Lloyd, and then the other game winner, Enrique. I haven't seen the Enrique game winner yet, but yeah, I know it exists and stuff like that. So, Dallas, they're on the roll, man. And Marbury's playing amazing basketball, as I said before. Let me pull up these stats. Enrique 22 last night. This is against Phoenix. And then, Marbury right there. Marina, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Playing amazing, bro. Playing amazing basketball. Ty Harris, 7 assists, 5 points. Playing some of the best basketball of her young career. And then Satu, y'all know what she brings to the table. Miss consistent every single night. Near a double-double, if not a double-double. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. She's in her bag. She was a leading candidate for Rookie of the Year last season. She's always going to give you what you get. But Mabry coming off the bench. Marina doing her thing. I think that's the big story, and that's the big difference for Dallas this year. And obviously to have those 2 number 1 picks on the roster doesn't hurt as well with Awak and Charlie Collier. So Dallas, man, that's my story of the season, in my opinion. That's the story of the season. That's the team I'm looking for. That's the team I'm watching. The Dream are pretty darn good too. I know they lost. They got swept by Minnesota, who was the worst team coming into the week, but once Kennedy Carter's back, one thing that I am a bit concerned about, Cheyenne Parker, how long it's going to take for her to really get work back in. She's playing a lot of minutes right now, but it just ain't really there. I was watching, I got league pass and stuff, so I'm watching the games on demand. And, she kind of needs to get back worked in. And, Mo is a bit inconsistent. E is gonna give you stuff on the defensive side of the ball, but on offense, like you don't know what you're really gonna get from E, because she's not really involved in the offense. It's like, but as a big, you gotta, rebound, get your own offense, create your own offense. That's your offense. Rebound, put it. Like Shaq said, about Dwight a few years ago. He's like, Dwight needs to dominate. He needs to get 40 and 20. Get 20 rebounds, put it back in. Get 20 rebounds, put it back in. That's 40 points and 20 rebounds. It's easy. Shaq can say that as the most dominant player to ever play the game. But, yeah. Um, yeah, but Dallas is the team I'm looking at, dude. That's the surprise. That's the story of the league. Connecticut, we expected Connecticut to be good. You know, had the notorious, or if you want to say that, notorious Connecticut fan on here, Tarika Foster Bradsby, on about a couple months ago, right before the season started. She was talking about no one talks about Connecticut every year, and somehow they always end up in the semifinal, in that Final Four. So I got them going again too, and I'm like, yeah, I agree with that for sure. Chicago will be very interesting as Candace Parker returns. Obviously, she changes the dynamic. She's a different game with Candace Parker. And then Dana Evans, who didn't play in Dallas, was up there with Chelsea Gray from Arkansas. They were kind of like, I didn't get why you drafted both. Both of them were All-Americans and stuff, but I just didn't get like at the same position. But now Dana Evans is playing a little bit more in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pulling up their last game against the Sparks. And, man. The Shields, Copper doing her thing. Oh, Stephanie Watts, man. Stephanie Watts got traded. I think she got traded to the Sparks. Like, she got drafted by the Sparks, traded to Chicago, traded back to the Sparks. But I think she was waived. She was really good, man. Yeah, Dana's giving some she's getting some PT over there at Chicago. But yeah, Stephanie Watts, she was someone when she was drafted. If you watch my draft review, my draft reaction, I was like, I don't know much about Stephanie Watts. Yeah, Stephanie Watts is okay. So Stephanie Watts, she needs to definitely, she needs to be picked up. Yeah, so Stephanie Watts, so like I was saying, definitely a solid start to the season. You know, it didn't always show up in a box score, but if you watch the actual games, the impact she had on the game was definitely noticeable. Like, she definitely left something there in the game. So Stephanie Watts deserves a roster spot. I think she was one of the better rookies that I've seen so far this season. And I just wanted to say that about Chicago. I was like, how the heck did I even get to Stephanie Watts? He's talking about Chicago. But yeah, they got Lexi Brown back, so, you know, got that veteran presence back and stuff like that in the backcourt. But Dallas, that's the team I'm looking at, man. And Indiana, I think they're at the bottom. I would put Indiana last. Move Minnesota up a few spots. And move Atlanta back a couple spots. Probably move Washington up in place of Atlanta falling. And yeah, that's it. But yeah, Atlanta's really good. Atlanta's really good, even though they've been losing lately. And it's all because of Kennedy Carter's gone. And you would think, like, you know, with all those guards, you're like, if one of them goes down, they'll be all right because of depth. Now they need Kennedy. Kennedy's that team. She's the star of that team, in my opinion. I know Tiffany Hayes is killing it and is one of the league leading scorers. But I think the best player, kind of like the face of the team, that's kind of a hot take, would be still Kennedy, in my opinion. I feel like Kennedy's like, as Kennedy goes, the team goes. Like, Tiffany can have a great game and a great season, but like the dream might be like a middle of the pack team. With Kennedy and Tiffany going, and Courtney Williams, of course, and Crystal Bradford. Woo! You want to talk about seasons? Crystal Bradford's having a great season right now, man. She's having a great season, but I want to talk about those three. They get it going. That's a good team. Excuse me. That's all I wanted to say, man. I know I kind of like rambled on at the end, but it's been so many videos where I just going on rants about like women's basketball and the state of women's basketball and things, the issues in it and the holes in it. So I was like, if I'm going to spend so much time on that, I at least got to give a little basketball. At least a little basketball talk in it. So if you're new to the channel, this is the road to 2K subs. Take care of yourselves, wash your hands, take 6 feet, wear your mask, do your research on the vaccine. If you feel comfortable enough taking the vaccine, take that thing. Till next time, take care of yourself.